Afternoon, Mayor.
Afternoon, Mr. Jim. How are you?
I'm just fat and happy.
That's a way to be.
Absolutely. Life's good. Chairman
Hello,
Davis.
everybody. Hello, how are y'all? Sorry, Mayor, I'm lost, you know.
All right, Mr. Larry walked out of the meeting just a minute ago. And wait a minute, I got two more folks coming in. Or one more person with two admin. Let's see what we got. Commissioner Jenny Walker is coming in.
Johnny's in there twice.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what. He might be calling in on one and listening and watching through something else.
He's trying to do it on two different iPads.
Looks like, folks, then give me back.
Mr. Mayor, Dale Reeves here.
Let me get Commissioner Watkins back in here and we'll get, here he comes.
Dale, your camera's on.
Did you hear that? He said your camera's on.
Well, start my video, it says.
So you better do
That's
that.
it. Start
That's where
your
we
video.
need you.
That's it.
Now,
Okay, Jim, why does mine say Dale's iPad and 2 in parentheses?
Because that's your iPad.
Hey, wait a minute. Slow down. You're going too fast.
You must have two iPads.
Yes, you do. That holds it there.
Jim, if you'll get off of my iPad, well, then I can see myself on there.
They don't work that way.
Oh, wait a minute. I can see myself anyway.
Ask him how he's doing.
Hey, Jim. Hey, Jim.
Yes, sir.
Larry,
How's that kidney thing working out okay? I hope.
That kidney thing is wonderful. I've had a complete success so far.
Yay.
Okay, great.
Wonderful.
Great. Glad for you, brother. Glad for you.
I appreciate that, Dave.
Okay.
There's Mr. Larry.
there's Larry Watkins.
How do you get here?
We have Mr. Johnny Walker on here twice for some reason.
I think my cell phone's on it too. I
Yeah, you're probably on it too, your cell phone as well.
should be gone now.
It won't move. No, it'll stay there.
That did it.
There you go.
Get you?
Well, are we ready to start?
yes, sir.
It's 5:30, I think. And I apologize for this meeting being on Memorial Day, but it looks like that's what we had to do. I wasn't thinking about it when the mayor asked me, could we do it today? But and also I want to express my thanks to all the veterans who've died over the years for our cause, so we can do this freely anyway. And I'll call the Education Committee to order, and I guess I'll have to call the roll.
Yes, sir. Oh, you can, whichever.
Larry Watkins, you'll answer. Your sound's off. Jim Norton,
I'm here.
Commissioner Johnny Walker,
Here.
Commissioner Dale Reed,
Here.
I think Commissioner Bill Walker's absent. Tonight we need to review the school's budgets, which I think all of you've gotten a copy of. And the mayor may want to comment on these. I've looked at them. There's quite a good increase in them, but it's all coming out of their fund balance. He may have some comments. I don't think Dr. King is here or anyone else from the education department, from the Board of Education.
That's a sad state of affairs.
It is. We've been in a good state for a few years, so you know, hopefully it'll continue. Mayor, you want to comment on any of these budgets?
Yeah, let me just go over the bare bones to you real quick. What they sent us was basically based on the mates of effort and previous to us receiving the BEP numbers. Since we received, and they put together a budget with those numbers. Since we received this budget, well, since we received the initial budget, we received the BEP numbers, and we're probably gonna have to bump up our contribution about $206,100. And some of the budget documents I've given you, I showed you where that was going to come from, is the growth of the county. So we've got that covered. They did have a decrease in student population this year of about 45. So if push came to shove, we do have the ability to lower that maintenance of effort sum if we want to. My calculation looks about 150,000, but we don't have a final BEP number yet, so that number is still sort of out there. Looking at your at the fund balance, ending fund balance, that's between what we give them and the ending fund balance. Everything in between there really needs to be by the school board, because they know where the money is and what that represents. And I'm not sure who's popping in now.
That's Charles.
Is it Charles? Okay.
Yes.
I'll just phone, yeah.
So with that being said, not knowing exactly where those numbers are, let's see, let me turn to that page. On page 19, I believe, is the end of the education packet. You see, let's see, excuse me, that's the end of 142. 141 stops at page 15. See that, let me give you just a second to get there.
I got a question about that, Mayor
Okay.
Norton.
Okay. Let me real quick. Oh, and one thing I want to preface all this by is this is the only document we've received. We don't have any backup, any explanations or anything, any more in depth, you know, plans, capital plans, program plans, cost of living, nothing. Yes, sir. Commissioner?
Yes, I noticed everything appears to be coming out of the fund balance. And what my question is, what we do here tonight and what recommendation we make that goes forward is going to be the final recommendation of this committee.
Are you asking?
I'm asking that because to me, it was just very disrespectful to hit us with this budget in this manner after a lot of notice from your office to them, only to be told that they're following state law and they don't really care about what it is that you're saying. And I don't think we're supposed to operate that way. I thought our function here was to approve what got submitted to us, and that's what would go forward to the full, or to the budget that would go forward to the full commission. Now, what I fear is that once we do this, they're going to try to, for lack of a better term, backdoor some more. And I don't know that I'm comfortable with that. that's why I'm hesitant to say yes or no anything about tonight until somebody tells me something.
Okay.
You're thinking they're gonna backdoor the expenses? Change the budget?
I think that there's probably going to be some more addendums, if you will, or additions to the budget. And I think we're up against the deadline now.
We are,
So if the-
we are and we aren't. Our calendar shows that to stay on track to adopt a budget by the end of June, like we normally do, or like we should do, we need to have something in front of the commission for tomorrow night. Now, that doesn't mean, if we don't get it, we still have a couple of months afterward till end of August when we have to have something into the state, or they withhold BP funds. Now,
Well, we'll have several committee meetings before then and then.
this is true.
And that's what I'm trying to say is we're up against the wall now.
Well, I
What we
mean,
do tonight's still got to go through budget.
yes, I agree.
And once it goes through budget, then it's got to go through full commission.
Right.
And we're running out of time. So if they add something on after what we approved, that's got to go back to education again, another committee meeting. It's got to go back to budget again. And I think we're out of time on that.
Stay on the calendar. You're correct. It looks like they've got about, and these are rough numbers, $2.3 million of extra spending. And I can only sort of identify about 700,000 of it's coming out of additional capital outlay. No description of exactly what. But when I'm going back through the rest of it, it looks like they've got ups and downs that sort of offset each other. I don't see glaring examples of where a lot of money has been dropped in any one place.
Well, salaries are pretty good increase, what I've noticed in all of them. I don't know what percentage that was. I didn't figure that out.
Yeah, I guess what I was looking at is just the total on each section,
Yes.
because that's, sometimes you can pick out things really quick that way, but
Well, what I'm seeing is the packet that I was delivered.
right.
It looks like that every expense they have is coming out of their fund balance. I haven't seen where they've asked for any further funding from the county. And if that's the case, that's money they already have, and it's moved to us. So what we approved tonight is their budget.
What we recommend tonight, if it's approved, is their budget, correct?
Right.
Right. Now, up until we adopt a budget, this new state law that came in a couple of years back and gave the deadlines and timelines, and the school board is supposed to have had a budget to us by by May 1. In that piece of law, there was a caveat in there that they had to have it in, but they were allowed to come back to amend it up until the county commission passed the final budget. So up until we pass one, they could come back and amend the numbers. They could come back and ask for more money. I don't know. I don't think they're going to get any additional funding based on what I'm saying. And their fund balance is pretty healthy up until they dropped $2.3 million out of it.
Well, the maintenance of effort still gets me every once in a while, but their spending has nothing to do with the maintenance of effort. Is that right?
Correct. That's correct.
It's the money we're giving them.
The money we give them, there's two factors to it. One's maintenance of effort, which is essentially no less than what we gave them last year.
Right.
Unless, of course, the student population drops, and you can divide the number, it's per pupil amount, and then you can deduct that. The other portion of this is the BP match that we've got to make for the state dollars that come through the DEP program. And that's actually what is driving ours up some, the $206,000 I mentioned earlier. And so those numbers are, relatively constant. So
Well, tonight, what we need to do is either send this to budget with an approval, or we sending this to the commission, full commission, since we kind of missed the budget committee.
let's put it, we'll send it to budget. It's, we included it with the packet just because, but when we talk about it tomorrow night, you can say you send it to budget because they've got to include everything, and there might be some more comments then and some more discussion, and may even bounce it back to y'all for some more discussion on, what they need to do or can't do. The school board's got a lot of latitude about adopting the budget. Going into it this much though, particularly with the possibility of sales tax numbers, and that's what they live and die by. The sales tax numbers not being assured like they have in past years. The numbers we're talking, we've talked to Somerville and Oakland, those are big ones, and I've talked to Piperton also, and the money is coming in there. It looks like it's pretty consistent, and it hasn't had drop off yet. The next couple of 3 months are when we're really going to see it, which will be probably after we adopt a budget. So they need to be conservative on their funding on their the school board budget is what I would hope they would do. Now, the capital projects, if the roof is falling in, that's one thing. If they want to just remodel something, there's something else. But I can't tell you what those are.
Well, on their sales tax, did we not have an agreement in place with them that what's been provided to them was strictly an estimate? However, if it came in that the revenues were better, that would be passed on to them.
Okay. Yes, this year
we had that agreement with them, though, don't we?
Had it for this year. And the money that we got a sales tax report a few days ago, week maybe, and it topped over. I mean, we're estimated about 70,000 to them to the good. So this year we're fine. We're not required to do that and this year, because of the uncertainty on both our parts, I'm recommending we not make that same offer again. I just don't think we can financially do that if things really turn sour. We need to make sure that we can't bear their whole burden plus whatever we have shortage also.
Right.
But we did make that offer, and that came out fine. If y'all want to make a motion tonight just to send it on the budget with no recommendation because of lack of information, or send it in with a no recommendation simply because you're uncomfortable with the expenditures, not with that, or if you're fine with it, you can send it on with a positive. But I'm concerned with the deficit amount.
If they're telling me that everything that they're asking for in the packet that I have is coming out of their fund balance, I have no problem with passing that right along. That's money that's already theirs. We can't tell them how to spend that. They can do it however they want to. However, if they're going to ask us for more money, I got a lot of line items here that's been highlighted that, I mean, it hits you right in the thumb with a hammer. And I mean, there are some huge increases between audit of 18-19 and projected ending balance and what they're asking for. So if I had good clarification that what I'm seeing in front of me is coming out of their fund balance, I'll make that motion.
What they given you is coming out of their fund balance. Yeah. There is not a request for any more money in anything that you've been given. Now that I can tell you, it's got to.
So what we would actually be sending them is a maintenance of effort funding.
And maintenance of effort funding.
And they're spending it what they Was that a
However,
motion,
that-
Commissioner Norton?
yes,
So we have a motion to send this on to the budget with a positive recommendation, I think is what I heard.
I am so moving that this packet of information that we have
Are we
at this
going-
committee meeting,
we
Yes,
gonna-
that we-
that's what we
Send it
have, so
on to
that's
the-
what we have.
we
David,
send it
had a
on to the
second.
full
Are we gonna end up taking the money out?
Take any money off?
Yes, because they have less students. They've got about 25 less students, and he said that was roughly $150,000.
I think that shows up in the state's BEP that we're matching on, isn't it? I think the state's BEP
That's the
is showing.
question. Mayor have to answer that
Case
question.
B, I'm gonna have to go back and check. You may be right, Commissioner.
That's on page 2, I believe.
Yeah, BP, hold on a second.
No, correction, page 3. The state's BEP is less than what it had been.
You're in-
Correct, now I stand corrected.
Which package are you in?
I'm in,
Education?
It's
I'm in
more,
the May Commission Committee agendas on May 25. On page 3, their BEP shows to be the same thing as it was last year.
Yes, all right, now but that's not what we contribute to. I mean, well, that's the wrong way of putting it. That's the state's portion, that's their portion of it. Our match is it comes up on page 2, under local taxes. It's included in pretty much all those 4,000 level line items. You see where that 9,810,709?
810, okay, that's going to be our match to the BEP.
Right. Now that, let me phrase that plus the debt payments we're making on behalf of the schools. If you go into your budget package, it's in the last page or the second to last page that gives sort of a breakdown on it, and it sort of shows you where those funds are coming from. But to your question, whether
the statement you made earlier, Bear, was they had 45 less students or something, so that would be
Right.
less money. I think that's what Commissioner Watkins is
that's
referring
what he
to.
was talking about, but Commissioner Norton may be right that the BEP's gotten high enough that the mates of effort, even though we could lower it, we can't lower it based on the BEP. That I got
Mayor Taylor,
clarification on.
Mayor Taylor, this is Charles. That is correct. The maintenance of effort was able to be dropped based on average daily membership, but the BEP match that we have increased that number. So from what we have now, we could not drop it, the average daily membership, because the BEP would drag us back up.
Okay.
Then that's almost a moot. So even though they do have 45 less students, their match makes us funded at that level.
So therefore, the funding is correct on there. So we need
Right.
we're looking for a second for Commissioner Norton's motion.
Dale Reeves here, I second the motion.
Dale Reeves seconds. And then we'll have a roll call vote. We'll vote yes for the motion, no against it. I'm gonna go just like you're on the screen. Commissioner Norton,
Yes,
Commissioner Reeves,
Yes,
Commissioner Watkins,
your mic's off there.
your mic's off there.
Larry,
yes,
can you press that
Yes.
space bar?
Commissioner Johnny Walker,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes also, which gives us a unanimous decision.
Okay.
Any other business that anybody would like to bring before us?
You do have funds 142 and 143. That's pretty much, we don't have anything to do with them other than just adopt them and send them on. We don't fund any portion of those. If you want to look,
I was assuming they were all in the same motion.
uh,
Well,
we can make that.
You know where assuming makes it, yeah.
with the same caveat, I so move.
Okay,
All right, we have a motion. We need a second.
all right.
I second it, Dale Reeves.
We'll do this again with a roll call vote. Commissioner Norton,
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves,
Yes.
Commissioner Watkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnny Walker,
Yes.
and then I'll vote yes too. That concludes our agenda. Is any other business anybody would like to bring before us? Any other questions? Well, we need a motion to adjourn, or we adjourn.
I make a motion, we adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
I think if we just adjourn, we'll be all right under these Zoom laws. Is that okay, Mayor?
That
Since
would
we have a
probably
motion,
work fine, yeah.
do we need a roll call on this too?
I don't think you need a roll call on this one.
All right. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
All right,
Mhm.
Good night.
bye-bye.